all the devotion, all of the love, all the nurturing, all of that we give to others, we also need to give to ourselves 10 out of 10 times, right? Welcome back to the Breaking Through podcast hosted by yours truly, Kaylin Devine. You know what we do here. We water our seeds, reflect on the truth, and inspire growth. You feel me? And this week, we have an interesting topic, right? First off, I hope your week was really good. My week was good. I decided to do some new things within my routine, and it's gonna be interesting. Been doing it for a couple of days, and I think it's gonna be solid. I think it's gonna be solid. But what we're talking about today is an interesting topic to me. What we're talking about is how to be alone without feeling lonely. Now, whether you're about to move out of your place, whether you're about to move into your own place, right? Whether you're leaving a relationship, about to be on your own, maybe you're just gonna go on your own for the first time in your life, right? One of the biggest concerns that a lot of people have, that I know that I had when I first did it, was feeling lonely. And so I have a couple tips here that I want to talk about in regards to that I feel like will really make a difference and really hopefully help you on your journey if you're getting ready to take that journey of being alone, right? Uh, we all strive for the same thing in life, and that's happiness, fulfillment, joyful, right? Just straight joy and living our best lives and, being stress free, baby. And one of those things is when aiming to get to that point, you're gonna have some times where you're gonna have to navigate the world alone. And if you have to do it alone, it can get really lonely, right? So hopefully these tips here that I have for you guys can help you guys out. If they do, let me know, right? The first tip that I have for you guys, and it's gonna be a hard one, is getting off social media, okay? Now, there's a couple different reasons that I feel like getting off social media is going to help, right? One, it's going to help you detox your brain from everything that you're seeing and the overstimulation that you're having, right? When you're on social media all the time, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, everything, notifications going off, right? It's your dopamine levels are reacting, right? And we come from a time where we are at peak evolution of technology. Now, back in the day, we didn't have all of the technology, right? So we had to get the dopamine hits that we are now getting every 10 seconds by doing something out in the real world when technology wasn't around. So now that your dopamine levels are going like this all the time, it's time to get them back down to the equilibrium, right? And part of that is going to be by getting off social media, right? Now, when I took my break from social media, I took my break for a long time, I'm not going to lie. I low-key tried to take it for 2 weeks, ended up taking that thing for like 8 months. It was insane to me how different I started to think, how different I started to move, and all of that, all because I didn't have social media in my daily intake, right? And so if you're going to be doing that, I definitely think that getting off social media is going to help that dopamine intake, and it's going to help you readjust. Not only is it going to help you there, it's going to help you stop comparing yourself to other people's lives of which we see on the internet all the time, right? We only see highlight reels, y'all. Half of the stuff that we see on there is not real at all. We only see the good part, we never see the bad. Sometimes we get into a habit of comparing ourselves to somebody else. Like, damn, I wish I was there. Damn, I wish I had what they had, or whatever it might be. And that's such a bad influence on your mind, right? We want to push towards positivity and move away from negativity, right? And those negative thoughts can really eat up at you from time to time. And when you allow that to happen, then they become your reality, right? And you just got to keep in mind that what we see on Instagram and what we see online is not the actual reality, right? So it's going to help you stop comparing yourself to others as well. And on top of that, it's going to help you stop seeking validation, right? When you post that picture and you looking good, got the drip on, you know what I'm saying, looking fine, whatever it might be, and you're searching for those likes, those comments, those shares and stuff like that, you're seeking sometimes validation from other people, right? When really you should be getting that validation from yourself, you know what I'm saying? If you put in that work to look the way that you do, then you know that no matter what anybody else says, you really them. You really that person, you know, because you put that work in. That validation comes from an inner self worth, self love, right? And that's what it should be. So that's my first tip. Getting rid of social media for sure. My next tip is when you get off social media, it's gonna open up so much time for yourself, you're never gonna know what to do. And so now you're gonna have to take that time and reallocate it to learning about yourself, right? Build a routine. Find habits and activities that you like to do. Like let's say on Tuesdays and Thursdays you like to go play pool. You know what I'm saying? At the Billis Club or whatever it might be. Cool. Go ahead and take that and throw that into a routine. You know what I'm saying? For the my women out there, if you like to go out there and get your nails done and just have, you know, some like a spa day or something like that, throw that into a routine. You know what I'm saying? If it's not once a week, maybe twice a week, or not twice a week, but every other week, right? Because what that's gonna do is that's gonna fulfill your time with you getting to know yourself, right? That's gonna fulfill your time with you getting to know yourself. And when you're really getting to know yourself, you're gonna have to stay busy. Staying busy, staying on top of those things is just gonna help load. It's gonna help load the self-discovery left and right. And then you're gonna eventually realize, damn, I didn't even realize that I like or enjoy these type of activities. And then now that you understand that you are enjoying those activities and those hobbies, and now that you have a routine with it, right, you're gonna feel great. And then feeling great about it is gonna really help you start to get comfortable moving. It's gonna help you start to get comfortable moving alone. And you're not gonna, that sense of loneliness that you once had is gonna slowly start to dwindle away, right? And when it starts to move away, you're just gonna start to feel happiness, pure joy, you know, just pure bliss, right? It's gonna feel amazing. It's gonna feel great. And I think once you get to really learn about yourself and learn about what you're doing now that is making you happy, then the next part, which is the most important part, is going to be about loving yourself to the fullest extent. Loving yourself. Becoming your own best friend, right? Like, when it comes down to loving yourself, and even when it comes down to being able to love others, you truly have to love everything about yourself. Everything. And that starts from within. Think about it. There's a bunch of words that we use to describe love. There's courage, devotion, nurturing, caring, appreciation, right? We go out of our way to show all of that to everybody in our lives. Our moms, dads, family, sister, brothers, uncle, nephew, nieces, right? Dogs, cats, pet snakes and shit, right? We go and show love to all of them. Now it's time to show love to yourself. Love yours, right? Because when you start to love yourself, you start to really understand, like, damn, the core of me feeling at peace with myself is all stemming from the love. And now you have even more love that you can give to other people because you truly love yourself, right? And I think that love is a state of vulnerability, and we do a really good job loving others, but we got to do a better job loving ourselves, especially on that road. Because if you're on that road and you start loving yourself, then it's going to become the world's best thing. It's going to become the world's best thing, right? On top of that, loving yourself is truly loving everything about yourself. Everything about yourself. It's loving how you think. It's loving how you handle situations, your emotions, how you look, right? It's loving the imperfections. Because no one's perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. We'll never be perfect. But if you can learn how to love the imperfection, then everything else is gonna follow suit, right? Like, there's times where, like, we might have a goal that we want to reach, and it's like, damn, we didn't reach that. And now the perspective is I'm a failure. And now that the perspective is I'm a failure, you don't really get comfortable with yourself. When really that mentality should really shift. It should be more like, damn, I was trying to reach this goal, I failed at it, but maybe I need to change my strategy or change something about what I did to get there and continue to try again and try again until you win, right? Because when you think of it that way, there's no self-shame. There's no shame, there's no harm, there's no bad or guilty feelings. And that's how it should be, right? So learning how to love the imperfections and understanding that all the care, all the devotion, all of the love, all the nurturing, all of that we give to others, we also need to give to ourselves 10 out of 10 times, right? Once you do that, then you're gonna start to feel real good. You're gonna start to feel at home. You're gonna start to feel peacefulness. You're gonna be able to feel calmness. You're gonna be able to feel relaxed, right? And that leads me to my last point, which is you create the energy. Energy is such a big thing. Such a big thing. And I know that sometimes we forget that energy is transferred. It's always transferred. It's always there, right? So once you learn how to love yourself, then it's creating an environment where your energy can rest peacefully, right? So whether it's you live in an apartment that you have to yourself, what can you do to make that energy high vibration so when you come home from a long day and you're getting ready to enter that space of loneliness or being alone, that you can really vibe out, right? Is it changing the mood by changing the lighting, right? I got colored lights in almost every room that I have here, right? If I'm feeling a little bit down, I might change the light to a different color, right? I might turn it to a warmth color, right? Because that'll help raise my energy level, right? So that's something that you can do. Artwork, put whatever is inspiring to you around where you are in that environment, right? I mentioned it before, like right behind this camera, I got a picture of Kobe, rest in peace. I got a picture of Kobe. In a room down there, I have another picture of Kobe, picture of Tupac, you know what I'm saying? I also have a album that is a vinyl. I couldn't think of the word, sorry. I have a vinyl that is of Tupac's music too, right? And I grew up, so like what that does for me is, like when I walk in and I see that, it brings me back to a time that was very nostalgic for me, where my mom would always be listening to Tupac. My father back in the day would be listening to Tupac, and I was a kid. I was a kid. I knew nothing but being a kid, right? So me being around that and being around that energy, it brings me back to when I was a kid, when I was just having fun and living life and no worries about a thing, right? If you're into reading, get a bookshelf, put all your books there, make it look neat, make it look nice, right? There's so much things that you can do. Whatever brings you life, right? Maybe getting a couple plants. Plants are life, right? They bring life. I remember the first time I got my first plant, right? I don't even remember what made me want to get a plant, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I don't recall at all. But I ended up getting the plant, and I was like, we're gonna see what this is all about. But when I tell you, like, having the plant and like speaking to the plant and learning how to take care of the plant and nurturing the plant and all this other extra stuff, like, it literally changes your mood, like, just being in there. Like, when I walk in my living room now and I see the plant, I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? It brought positive vibes, positive energy all day long ever since I got one, right? And now I'm finna go and get a what are the machines that you can get? You can get a machine that's like yay big, put little seeds in it, and then they just start growing plants and all this and that. Whatever that's called. I just came across it on Twitter, right? Don't know what it is. Found out what it is. Said, wow, I need one of them, right? But the motherfucker's kind of expensive. I'm still gonna get it though. But whatever is gonna bring you life and joy, right? One of my biggest things is music. I got Google speakers around the crib, in every room. I paused like that because I didn't want the speaker to go off. I got Google speakers around the room, so I can literally go and play music whenever I want, all the time, right? It literally shifts my mood. I could be walking in knowing, okay, you know what, I got this to do today. I need to be I want to feel upbeat. Go ahead and play some upbeat, you know what I'm saying? Throw on that breezy album or something. Whatever it might be. Changing the energy, cultivating the energy, and literally creating that energy in your environment that you have. And I know that sometimes we don't have like the best environment where we can do everything that I just mentioned, but if you can do a little bit of it, you'll see how a little bit of it can at least go a long way, right? So those are it, y'all. Like, getting off social media, learning about yourself, learning to love yourself, and create the energy. Those are the biggest things that I think can really help you learn how to be alone without being lonely, right? And like I said, I've been down that road before. A lot of it, I spent a lot of time at the learn yourself because there was a lot of things I needed to learn. And then once I got past that, I started loving me for me. Can't nobody tell me anything about me that I don't know about myself. Can't nobody tell me who I am because I know who I am. I am who I want to be, right? And I'm still making strides to becoming a better man that I want to be, right? So that learning yourself piece, crucial. And then once you learn yourself and go into loving yourself, it's game over. It's game over. Because then when you really love yourself, can't nobody tell you anything. It doesn't matter. Can't nobody tell you anything. You know you better than everybody else, right? You're going to know how to love yourself. And once you love yourself, that same time, that same energy that you put into loving yourself, now you can go out and love people better. Your relationships, your friendships, everything, right? And overall, that's going to help build a better foundation for you and yours. If any of those tips can help you out, man, let me know. Because I'm interested in seeing other people's journeys and hearing about other people's journeys with being alone and not feeling lonely, right? Cultivate that energy. You got this. If you're somebody right now who's getting ready to make a move and be by yourself and you're worried about being lonely, I'm letting you know right now you got this. You got this, dog. Don't fail yourself. You got this. It's going to be a breeze for you. It's going to be a breeze. You're going to go through those steps. You're going to learn about yourself. You're going to love yourself. You're going to get off social media. And then you're going to create the energy, create the environment. And next thing you know, it's going to be 8 months. And you're going to be like, damn, I could have been doing this the whole time. For real. So, once again, Breaking Through Podcast. We reflect on the truth, water our own seeds, and inspire growth. Episode 4. JK. Episode 5. At some point, I'm going to stop counting these episodes, right? I'm only doing this so I know in my head so I can stay consistent with it. But outside of that, I hope y'all have a great week. And as always, we'll see you next Friday.